We're going to dive right into it. Andy Haynes is here. And I felt like it was almost, I had a duty to put you on.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Because Rosebud Baker, who is your fiancee, has been on a couple times recently. Mm-hmm. She was just flaming you, dude.
I know.
As seems to be the dynamic between you two.
She, honestly, she loves to treat me like I'm Tom Hanks at the end of Philadelphia. like I'm just this geriatric, just dying of a disease. I have a little tremor in my hand. I'm going a little bald. Everything else I have to do for this bitch. And I'm sick of her flaming me. It's not going to stand. We're not married yet.
Yeah, I mean the Diva Cup story was one that we almost puked. But the funniest thing about the Diva Cup thing was the conversation you had afterwards about how big her pussy is. Where you were like, good sized. I mean, there's that's a question you hope to never hear.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Right. I don't expect her to call my dick gargantuan.
Right. It is what it is.
You know my confidence level. It seems that's the fucked up thing is a woman's pussy size is not at all related to her confidence.
No.
You know what I mean? They're not walking around like, I got the tightest pussy,
Like, I'm the fucking best. I got a tight pussy.
But I feel like if you have a hog, you just wait for doors to open.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
100%. I feel like if you have a big dick, your whole life's different.
Yeah.
You can be like a loser in almost every other aspect of life, and you'll still walk around with confidence.
Oh, a homeless man with a big penis has more confidence than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a bunch of them, and
they're out right now.
They were like, "You got to check this thing out." And I was like, "Holy shit! I counted you out, buddy."
I pay rent.
Yeah,
and he sits on a street corner, and he still feels better about
He's
himself.
like, I could fuck that girl. Yeah. Have you seen this thing?
Yo, have you seen them just harass women? Yeah, they have all the confidence in the world.
Dude, there was a guy today. Our right outside our office is we call it the shanty town. They just seem to converge on our office. So there's a little community of them. And there was a guy today at the I don't even know what to call those things where you can plug in your phone and all that shit. Yeah. And he had he had a fucking iPad. Yeah. And he was just sitting there, and everything else is horrendously homeless, and he's just scrolling on his tablet.
I like how those are the best places for homeless guys to hang out because they're someone's gonna come and charge their phone, and I'll just harass them.
Yeah, I'll get some interaction.
Well, also, I've never seen anybody who wasn't an Italian tourist or a homeless person at the kiosk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just a power bank for people on the street. And I mean, God bless them. I'm glad they can use their phones.
They can juice up. It's a weird world where the homeless people can have
I saw
the same technology as you.
One of the shantytown guys, I was walking by the office once, and there was a homeless man who was verbally abusing / hitting on an attractive doctor. And I was like, he thinks he can hit on a doctor.
Yeah.
I would never in a million years. I'd be like, that woman is out of my league. Mm-hmm. And he was just like, I got this.
I'm doing well in my career, and I still would not hit on a doctor.
Never.
That's uncalled for.
I know a doctor is above me. A doctor has no interest in me,
None.
and they shouldn't. But a homeless guy was like, yeah.
That's why
I could take her down. I could go fuck her in an alley, I suppose.
People who are oblivious to all things, whether you're homeless or just an asshole or dumb or whatever.
Yeah,
they're the happiest. They don't think.
I
wake up every day and I'm like, yes. Honestly,
I'd love to be stupid or smart.
If you're not,
neither.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're I'd rather be really smart, where I can I get it. I see the matrix. I can start companies and build things.
Yeah,
and all that. If you're not going to be that, be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I would love to be so brain dead that I could be an actor. You know what I mean? How people are like, you're a firefighter, and you're like, I'm a firefighter.
I can do that. I can do that.
I would love to be a genius where, I wear those fucking what are those shoes called that every startup guy wears? Allbirds. Yeah, I wear Allbirds and I ride one of those one wheels, and I make zero eye contact with people. I just walk out of rooms after I've said what I've said.
You're just playing autism.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd like to be autistic.
It's the new, new rebrand.
The ability to just not care about other people's feelings at all. That's also a little autistic, right? But that's the best part. It's I
just not read cues.
I'm just always like, well, I don't want to make that person uncomfortable, or hey, let's I want to be friendly to you, or I'm just trying to be a normal, good person. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
I just want to walk around like I'm a homeless guy with a 10-inch dick and be like, I don't fucking care about
Yeah,
you.
yeah. You
It's
just lay
amazing.
down in parks. You're like, this is my bench. I got the whole. Look at my dick.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm not. No, what are you talking about? This is awesome. It's all just a frame of mind.
There's a our street, like like New York's like falling into chaos and it's just deteriorating as a society. So there's like a lot more like drug addicts and homeless people on our street, which is not great when you have like a tiny loudmouth fiance who walks there at night.
Yeah.
But there's one guy and he sits next to our stoop every night and it's the weirdest thing. He's a black guy. I don't know if he's homeless or he's just like an alcoholic and he just goes there to get drunk. But he pipes Young Country every night. Every night he is listening. I don't even know the artist that he's listening to, but it is like modern country. And it's like a 45-year-old black guy. And he's just like sitting there drunk, just like rocking out like he's like just on the ranch or something. He's just like tearing up. And it almost feels like the Matrix trying to be like, you don't know all the black guys, all right? Here's a
Stop judging.
Yeah, here's a different one. Don't typecast.
Does Rosebud mouth off a lot?
She can. I think for the most part, she's like keeps her distance from everybody. She kind of just like operates like we were talking about with the confidence of an autistic person, where she just is like, okay, I'm done with this and just moves on. But like, there's these teens. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Yeah,
yeah, we got
the
this
stoop
fucking
teens
group of teens that are like the kids from that movie Kids.
Yeah.
You know, just like a bunch of skater, drug addict, ne'er do wells.
Fucking terrifying. Those
Yeah,
kids.
and
We've
they-
always said walking the street, not now, but prior, walking the street of Manhattan or anywhere in the city at like 3:00 when school gets out.
Yeah.
It's like you better have a fucking gun on you. These kids are dangerous.
John Mulaney has that great joke about how they're like the ones who know how to hit you in the most vulnerable places.
Yes.
And it is like that. Like I'm totally like I wouldn't be intimidated probably to fight a man my age, but a teen just interacting with a teen boy, I'm like, this is gonna go awful for me.
He thinks you're such a loser.
Dude, I was coming out of my building one time. I had both dogs. I'm already pathetic because I'm carrying 2 dogs. People just assume I'm a walker. And they're just sitting on my stoop, so I can't exit the door. And I can hear them talking about me. They're rolling a blunt, and they're just like, man, this guy's so hot, he can't get out right now. Meanwhile, I'm clocking it. I'm like, all right, the kids are saying hot for angry.
Mental note. Got
I'm
that.
gonna
Yeah.
use that when I code switch next time. And so then eventually I'm just like, all right, fuck this. And I open the door. They don't move. I start to kind of like try to get past them. And the door closes on my puppy's tail. So she's like, and I finally lose my mind. I get down to the floor and I'm like, all right, listen, when I get back here, you guys better be gone. And I want you to take all this shit with you. And they were like, all right, you do you, man. And I was just like, fuck.
And none of that happened.
Yeah,
Did
we'll
they?
see when you get back, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
There was one time I left this when I lived in Boston still. I left my apartment complex or building, and there was a homeless guy in the entryway. And because it was like the front door would open, like that didn't lock, which is always such a weird thing, which is like, yeah, the front door doesn't lock. I'm like, okay. And like, the second door will lock, but the front one, nah. And a homeless guy was passed out in the entryway. And he had shit twice. He had shit on the floor, 2 separate corners.
Wow.
And
Everybody knows you make a poop corner and you stick to it, dude.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
bad
would
form.
rather have to deal with that than like teenagers.
Yeah, they're just
I was like,
scary.
all right, fine. Homeless guy shit,
They're
I can
cool
handle.
and they're mean.
Yeah, they're better.
But here's the
than
thing.
you.
I maybe they have 10-inch dicks because I don't think I was ever that teen.
I think it's a New Yorker thing too.
yeah,
I
probably.
think it's like a young.
You grow up in the city, you're a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, you're a monster.
So take solace that those kids will probably like flame out and die soon.
yeah, it's like Kurt Metzger has a joke. He says every kid in New York can't drive and they're sober by 20. You know, it's like they live a very busy life.
Yeah.
You know, they try heroin in middle school.
They really do. We used to do this show with Asa Akiro. She like grew up going to
yeah.
like a prep school in the city. And
She was sober by, like,
by
16.
like in her teens she was sober and had fucked like 150 dudes by the time she was like 16.
Good for her.
Yeah,
Jesus
she was like I miss it. She's sober now. I miss it so much.
Yeah, I like her sobriety too, where she's like, I'm not gonna be sober forever.
Yeah, she's just on a long hiatus.
Yeah, she's like, I'll still like, one day I'm gonna do crack.
I
again.
promise you, I put it in the books right now. Asa Akira will die of a heroin overdose. Not anytime soon, but that will be the cause of
Yeah,
death.
I mean, that was like, I'm sober. I'm in the program. I like don't plan on ever going out. But if I did go out, it would not be like, I would not have a beer with friends. I
No.
would not like smoke a bowl. I would
Go hard.
Yeah, I would do Hunter S. Thompson level, like, I would be measuring amounts of like adrenethal and crack cocaine that I could, it would just be up and down, lizard people.
No, yeah. If you're gonna like flush it all away, fucking flush it.
I want to
Let's
see
go.
the fox head in the sky.
She said she was addicted to crack for like a weekend. And she's like, the second I did crack, I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like
There's
this
a reason
makes
why.
a lot of sense.
I smoked crack, not like I smoked crack accidentally.
I feel like that's the majority of crack.
Yeah, it was in Belize, and somebody put it in a spliff, but they didn't put weed in it, and so I was like, it's a weird taste.
This does not
And
smell like
I
any of the
asked
weed I've ever
them
smoked.
what this was, and they're like, it's when you cook the cocaine up in a rock. And I was like, fuck. I was like I was in like a tree house in the jungle, thought it was like, there was reggae playing. I was like, man, the vibes are so good. My friends kept smoking it though, and I was like, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we smoked a little crack. What's the difference between a little and a lot?
Hey, no argument there.
I had a buddy.
Although I'm sure there is a
smoke
very big difference.
Yeah,
but
yeah. They were chasing street dogs. Meanwhile, I was like, I should go organize our room.
I had a buddy. We were in Salamanca, Spain, and we were walking by this dude who was sitting on the steps of a church, and he had like a pipe. And he's like, "Hey, you guys want to hit this?" And we were in high school. We were probably like 16 or 17. And my buddy, who was a bigger drug user than me at the time, I think we've kind of passed like ships in the night. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm in." And he went over and he smoked it, and he like hit it once, and he immediately walked away, just going, "Not weed, not weed, not weed."
what was it?
He thinks it was crack. We don't know for sure.
We'll never know.
But it was
That's
like,
beautiful.
I know he spent the next 3 hours rolling around in the grass in a park.
Wow, that's great. I like that before it kicked in, he was like, abandoned ship. I'm infected with the virus. That's fucked. Yeah, I mean, I miss drugs. Like,
Do you?
For the crazy, I don't miss like the day, because I was just like a guy who'd be like, I have to go to Target. Let's, get high. But
Yeah.
I miss the times where it was like you went out to the desert and you like took off
Go
all
nuts.
your clothes.
Yeah. So do you just not do any of that stuff anymore?
No, nothing.
Those are the things you can't do with you're not doing drugs, really.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
you can't go to Burning Man and be like, I'm sober, guys.
there actually is like a big group of people that are sober. Like Moshe Kasher is sober. He's been sober for like 20 years, and he goes to Burning Man and with a bunch of other sober people. I have no interest in that.
Oh, that sounds like hell.
Yeah.
Like those people that wear the goggles and they get like I would be bummed for them and me. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Right.
Being around like drunk and high people sober is like, every time I'm around someone who's drunk when I'm sober, I'm like, I might get sober. because
Yeah,
you
I
look
can't
like
ever
an
do
asshole.
that. Right.
Like-
Basically, it's like we all have to be assholes together.
Right.
So I don't want anybody on the outside looking in being like, well, I can see that you're an asshole.
And also, I would feel like I would ruin it for a lot of people.
Yeah, right.
Like, have you ever been on mushrooms and you're like walking out of the woods on a trail, and then it's like you just like are like, there's other people. Like the energy is.
Yeah.
So.
It's better to just. But what do you do then? Like, what do you guys do? I had this like quarter life crisis. I'm 35 now, but when I was like 27, I think it was, I was like, I don't have any talents or hobbies, or I just drink and I go out to restaurants and like that's it. And I still haven't really found anything since then.
You're doing great. I think that's the point. You just embrace the nothing.
Embrace mediocrity.
No, I think that. I mean, I guess it's just like
Do you guys feel like you pour your shit into comedy?
Yeah, pour it into comedy or, like work, writing. I don't bullshit, exercising. Do you guys do that thing where you like go online and you fill a cart with like, $20,000 worth of just something random? You're like, I'm going to build a house. And then you go and you shop and then you're like, what the fuck
I'm not doing this.
I've
but did you
never
kill an
done
hour?
that. I don't understand people who do that, who do carts. If I want something, I just buy it. I've never had a cart that like saved.
Well, because I'm horrible with money. My whole point with is just make as much as you can so that you don't think about it.
Yeah.
And
Great philosophy.
Sometimes I'll catch myself. I'll be like, why am I trying to buy the newest Yeezy? I'm 38. I'm balding, like give it up, man.
It's a tough realization to have.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, well, like I asked him because it was just his birthday. I was like, do you feel old yet? He said no, but he shouldn't. He doesn't have any reason to feel old. I was like, I'm 35. I have 2 kids. I'm like, I've never really been in shape, so it's not like I'm getting out of shape, but I'm just getting less and less. And I was just like, yeah, I mean, I'm probably not cool ever again. This
I
is
mean,
it.
I think that's the thing is like, I think you can go like too far with it where you become like a bummer and you're like, I've decided to just explore like all the hate in my heart and resentments and everybody's like, Jesus Christ.
You suck, dude.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that send like weekly emails about things they've read.
What?
Those would not be friends anymore.
You know, I want cynicism, so I don't want to get rid of that. Like, I want a certain amount of cynicism, and I love to talk shit. But I think, I don't know. I just try to I try not to focus on the outcomes, and I just know I can't get fucked up, so I just try to fill my day. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's honestly like I don't think
Day by
about
day.
it. And then I
Then
just
go to
keep
sleep and then do it
going.
again.
And then sometimes I check in and I'm like, God damn, a year went by?
You fit in right here in this place, Andy.
Yeah, I'm like,
you are a good
I'm
fit.
in Maine? How the fuck did this happen? I did a lot of traveling before all this shut down. Like I used to do these things where I would try to find the cheapest ticket to go the farthest I could for a
Yeah,
weekend.
you got like a little hippie vibe to you, or I could see that.
Yeah. But I would I flew to Iceland for one day one time just to do something stupid, or like I went to Europe in the fall and did a bunch of comedy. I mean, that's the nice thing about like your comedy can be not just a job; it can be like a lifestyle
experience, yeah.
And like it's kind of not 9 to 5, but like morning till night, like
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I try not to think about it. That's the main thing I do, and then. Fuck, I
I'll
deal
tell you
with
what helps you not
Rosebud.
think about things.
Drugs.
Drugs and alcohol.
I mean, that's the main reason I did it.
Yeah.
But then, you're like in, like, I remember this one time I went to Kmart and I was like stoned out of my mind. Like I smoked a blunt and went to Kmart. And then I got home and I was like, why did I buy like the entire Jewish candy section? Like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Kmart's a wild spot to go
Dude,
to.
the Hollywood Kmart, it's like the lights aren't on unless you walk into that section. You know what I mean?
That's what Bargatze's got a joke about that.
Oh,
where
yeah,
he talks
yeah.
about how like he's like, you walk into Kmart, you're like, are you guys going out of business? They're like, no, we're doing great.
We're thriving.
Yeah, it's funny that you ask that because I'm like having this little crisis. I'm like, what is my plan? But yeah, dude, you're 35.
Newly engaged though, right? You did
Newly
you
engaged,
did a
yeah.
quarantine engagement, right? Or a
Yeah,
proposal, I mean.
I hadn't bought her a birthday present, so I figured that was
Two birds, one
you know,
stone.
I was like, all right, let's get this out of the way. And she was such a brat about it. She was like, I knew you were going to do it this way. I was like, Jesus Christ, the world is dying and you're upset about give me a break. Just like, she wants like a mariachi band on a mountaintop.
Like, take it or leave it, bitch.
We had I forget if it was a voicemail or if it was we did like a segment Am I the Asshole?
Yeah.
And it was a guy who proposed to his girlfriend 4 times, and she kept being like, she's like, I want to marry you, but I'm not thrilled with this engagement.
4.
And it was
Don't marry that girl.
Yeah,
That's what we
right.
both said. Yeah. The first one was like it was quarantine, and she said just like I always pictured it being something else, and the guy was like, all right, I'll give you that.
He did it like in
extenuating.
bed. Like, he didn't have a
circumstances.
ring. He was just like, he's like, hey, you want to get married? And she's like, yes, but not like this.
Then he did one like with some.
They went to like a nice dinner. was
Right, that
one.
wasn't good.
And then
with
they
the
went to New
family.
Orleans,
Right.
and he proposed it like on like a rooftop. That
No
wasn't
good.
good.
Like, this
and I
girl
forget what the
sucks.
4th one was. And she
Yeah,
said,
that's a lifetime you're signing up for. If you're
Yeah.
listening right now, run, do not walk.
Get
Jesus
the fuck.
Christ.
Kill that girl. Actually, kill her. Bury her. And
Yeah, and
so
then
that-
you'll
so-
get a Netflix show.
Yeah.
And you'll be fucking set. You'll be able to hire that lawyer from the staircase.
God, that guy was so fucking guilty.
Yeah,
the staircase. He just they just conveniently left out of that whole documentary that they took out like a $4 million life insurance policy on her the day before she died.
Really?
Yeah,
That
just
was-
wasn't mentioned. I was
that
like,
was the last documentary I've ever watched because I was sick of being tricked into believing things. I'm like, no, this is just what the producer wants me to think.
Yep.
It was he took a $4 million life insurance policy and he's had another wife die on that
and that's
staircase.
yeah, he's murdered someone else before that same exact style.
Dude,
you didn't tell me that.
I love those shows and I watch them over and over again. And then I'm like wondering when they're going to run out of murders.
So many
You know what
murders,
I mean?
dude. So many murders.
Are there? There's
so
enough?
many murders.
I feel like people are going to start murdering to meet
Yes.
the need. They're going to be like,
yeah, there's only,
That's-
only 2 Netflix docs. We gotta.
That-
I bet
that's
you.
what I
I bet
think
you
the
there are
future is.
Netflix producers murdering people right now just to keep the fucking money flowing.
Well, if they want to talk to me, I have a fucking tormenting brat of a fiance, and we're kind of coming up in show business, so it'd be like perfect. You know what I mean?
Oh, they both like
It'd be like a
achieved their
Phil
dreams
Hartman
and-
in real time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll make her relapse, and then we can kill each other in our new home. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
you could like stage it like an overdose, but it was really you. Like,
yeah, of course. Yeah, tons of
And
details.
he's like, yeah, no, I've thought about it. Yeah, I know.
I'll murder her, and then like right after I murder her, I'll start dating, like a way too
Young,
young
hot
star.
shit,
And
yeah.
but like her funeral will be going on, and they'll be like, he's guilty. I mean, he didn't even go. He
Why-
had
yeah,
like a
it's-
time,
Why'd he bring Courtney Stott into this?
Yeah, like I'm dating the Bernie TikTok girl.
Yo, the TikTok, the youths lip syncing your special.
Dude, Rose found that the other day. She hates when I call her Rose, so I'll do it again. But
What a pain in the ass that woman is. Don't call me Rose. Bitch, your name is Rosebud.
yeah, I'm not always gonna say Rosebud and think of a sled. Yeah, no, she was like, did you see this? Like, because I guess she was gonna make fun of me and do it, like where she was gonna lip sync my jokes on her TikTok, which. You're too old for TikTok, Rosebud. But she found it. She like hashtagged me, and there's just like. But the weird thing is, it's no like teens, no like dudes in the Indian subcontinent or China. It is just a group of like American 8-year-olds. I have no idea why, but it's like 10 8-year-olds a year ago decided to lip sync my sad jokes.
Well, we
about
just-
The
divorce.
first one you put up too, or the one you did a screen recording, like that first girl was covered in bruises, wasn't she?
Her whole half of the
She
face.
has a black eye. What is going? I thought she was Russian. That's how beat up she was. I was like, this is Russia. This has to be Russia. You see a video and you're like, that's Russia.
Yeah, you really usually can tell.
If a house is fucked up enough, like a dog's limping, you're like, Russia.
I always tell a story when I first started interning here, which is
Oh, this is the best.
At this point, like 10 years ago, and I was an intern for Kevin and this kid who works for us, Keith, and Keith sent me an email and he's like, as an intern, you need to check what this video is.
We used to get like a lot of submissions for what we put on the website. So someone emailed us this video.
And it was a live leak, and he's like, the guy who emailed it says it's a Russian dude getting stabbed to death with a screwdriver on a bridge. And I watched it and I just went, that was an accurate description.
Yeah,
That was exactly what happened in that video.
I worked for clip shows for like 6 years. I worked on Ridiculousness. I worked on a bunch of other like those style clip shows. And the shit that people will send you sometimes to be on there, they're like, "Hey, I don't know if you guys think this is funny, but this is a bear eating a blind family."
Yes.
Have you seen the show?
It's fucking people like twisting their ankle on skateboard tricks, dude. Like,
I mean, although Russia should have its own clip show,
Oh, yes.
like
Yeah,
it should
for
just
sure.
be, look at this Russian, that Instagram account should just have their own deal, and it's just like women breastfeeding while shooting at a guy. They're on the back of a motorcycle, just unloading on a cop that's trying to steal their land.
but my favorite trend in Russia was when they all were, I guess they still are. They're wearing like the GoPros and they just like free climb shit.
Oh yeah,
It gives you like vertigo watching. But there's a few of them where they just fall, and there's just footage of them fucking falling like 30 stories and
Have you
splattering.
seen the one where it's like it's got to be 10 years old, but it's a girl and they're like on the roof of one of those old like apartment blocks, like Soviet apartment blocks, and she's got a rope around her waist.
Yes!
She's on a chimney.
yes.
And these boys are like, ha 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 ha, and you're like, oh, what are they gonna do? And they just push her off the roof, and she's on a rope, and she swings like an avenue, and they're just like, ha, funny, she thinks she's gonna die, and you're like, Jesus.
Probably is. Yeah,
There was one where
dangerous place, the internet.
Russia's crazy, man. But there was one where this guy jumped off again one of the Soviet apartment buildings. You can just tell they look like straight out of Chernobyl. Like they have radiation built in, like it's part of the place.
Yeah.
And like this guy jumped off. It must have been 25, 30 stories. 4 inches of snow.
I've seen that one, and he's like,
I had a friend one time take this girl cliff jumping, and it was in Needham, Massachusetts, and she jumped off, and it was a cliff he jumped off regular. It's like about a 30-foot cliff, and she jumped off, and it was so shallow that she ended up like sitting down, and she was holding up her leg, and she's like, "What the fuck, Chris?" And her leg was shattered. And he goes, "Look, I'm not a fucking tide clock."
Wow. fucking crazy.
He's like, we're obviously not gonna hook up, so do you mind if I will you watch me jerk off? It's the only way I could get there. I'm probably not gonna see you again, and I rented a car for this.
Look, I'm not a tide clock.
The TikTok, we found out that I guess they're doing the same thing, lip syncing a couple of our podcasts, and
That's great.
No, I don't know. Is it? I feel like they're making fun of me. It's like the stoop teens. I'm like, you're probably doing this ironically, or like, oh hell, well, look how fucking dumb this podcast bit is from this old guy.
It just occurred to me they might be making fun of me. Fuck.
Maybe not. I don't know. I can't imagine why a teen would like anything we're talking about, but
But they probably listen, right?
I hope. We kind of age appropriately. We try to age appropriately a little bit. So I don't know. Are you on it at all?
On TikTok?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
Right.
you
Like
know?
I downloaded it and like tried it a couple times, and I was just like, that's it.
I thought about putting my
old.
stand-up on it. I
Right.
thought about like if I make a sketch, maybe I'll like cross-promote on there, but I'm not going to dance. There's some people that do it wonderfully. There's this guy that Joe Mandy just showed me. He's like a writer for like, he was on Parks and Recs and a couple other shows. But this guy Mookie something, he's really funny because he's like our age and he's making fun of the
it,
platform.
yeah.
He's like doing the duos where like the girl's asking the question and
Oh.
he's like really earnestly answering.
Oh, yeah, I've
was
seen
that
that
the
guy.
one? I think I
Seen that
retweeted
guy.
that where
Yes,
it was like
yes.
there's
He's like
one
in
of
a
them.
pink sweatshirt. and
Yes.
He's got like a light
He's like,
beard.
what's the first thing you notice about me? He's like, your ass. He just answers like honestly,
Yeah,
right?
it was-
or no, he's
no.
answering what she wants to hear.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The
yeah,
funniest
yeah.
one is like, would you rather have a girl who's a great dancer or snowboarder? And he's like, dancer for sure. And she's like, I actually just said that so I can show this picture of me snowboarding. He's like, I mean, snowboarding.
Totally snowboarding. Yeah.
She's like, what's the perfect gift for a guy? He's like, PlayStation.
Are you getting back out and doing any comedy, or are you just still laying low?
Yeah, I'm doing all these parks. That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I'm doing parks, storefronts, backyards. It's starting to get normal. I mean, like
Yeah.
with there's a couple comedy clubs that are like using the space around their club to do it, and then Brooklyn's just full of like miscreants. It's an abandoned super fun site, but it's starting to kind of feel normal. I don't expect to do it. I'm not going to really travel for it. I don't want to like have like the on my conscience that I killed somebody's diabetic aunt,
Right.
or that I'm part of a spike. And I'm also fine, It's like
Right,
I don't
you don't
need
need
to go
it.
out.
Yeah.
And
Well, I feel like when people started doing drive-in stuff, they started doing park stuff, they started doing all the different variations. I feel like some people are like, I'm never doing that, no fucking way. But now it's getting to the point where it's like, I think you have to start at least trying some of the alternative shit. Maybe you
Yeah.
don't like it and you don't do it again, but I mean, I think it's gonna be this way for a while. So
yeah, I did a couple Zoom shows.
Yeah.
I've done Zoom shows the whole time. I actually do Zoom shows for like sober houses, things like that.
yeah.
That's like a separate deal. It's not for the public. Those are like private shows. So I got kind of comfortable with it, and then people started to get better at doing the Zoom shows. There wasn't the silence. There wasn't the the Zoom bombers. You know what I mean?
where they like take over it.
Where like a kid just jumps in.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
That's called Zoom bombing, I guess.
And they just fuck with your set. That's what I mean. They're just mean. They're just mean-spirited children.
I'm gonna. This is kind of bad form, but so I'm in a 12-step program. I go to a lot of 12-step meetings online, and there was like this 2-week period when those all started, where people didn't know how to secure their Zoom meetings, and so kids just found the directory, and they were just going in. And it was melee. It was beautiful. You would just be like halfway through a meeting, and some woman would be like, and that's when I knew that I'd hit my rock bottom. And then just out of nowhere, just a child, just like, I'd like to rock your bottom, bitch. Damn, Teresa got some nice ass titties though. And you're just like, okay.
Wow.
Meeting is taking a turn.
Wow.
It was real fun.
That's amazing. That's horrendous and so fucking
I wish
funny.
I had some screenshots or
Yeah.
like I'd recorded some of those meetings. They were beautiful.
Man, that
Was
is-
there any part of you that was like nervous about those? Like I know, like when it started, quarantine, like I was like, I'm not gonna do therapy because like, what if they record me? And like, I wasn't trusting it.
Yeah.
But you're
No,
fine.
I'm pretty chill with it. I'm also not somebody who gives a shit if you record my material just because I don't have anything on the books. Like, I'm not like working towards a special. So if I was going to do that, maybe I would change my philosophy on it.
I meant the therapy, like your secrets, but also that makes
I don't have any secrets. That's the thing. I'm just, it's nice.
It's a wonderful
tell
way to
everything
live.
on stage.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's great.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe if I murder Rosebud, I'll stop sharing so much.
Like living like an open book is, it's not for everyone. I would never like recommend it because
Yeah.
I think you got to be a certain type of person to handle it. But it's so much more.
The only thing I hate is that sometimes I'm just like, why? Like, guys that just like don't talk and they just like manage to just like keep everything close to the chest. Sometimes I wish I was that type of guy because it's just like you'll see them, they just operate through this. Like, I feel, this is going to sound fucked up. I feel vaguely feminine how open of a book I am because I'm just like, I'll meet somebody and I'm like, I got divorced and also I got molested. I'm like, all right, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, dude. Yeah,
Why are you being so vulnerable right now?
right.
We're not best friends.
No, but I think that's like a grass is always greener sort of thing. Because I
Yeah.
bet you the dude who plays everything close to the vest is just ready to fucking explode on the inside.
But wouldn't it be nice to have so many secrets that you have to like, I don't know, like make a girl wear like a Richard Nixon mask to come? You know what I mean? Like you're just like, I need evil. Like I wish I had some kind of internal battle, but I
mean,
just
you can
leave
do
it all
that.
up.
You can go home with a Richard Nixon mask today and just throw it at that bitch.
Rosebud probably would put them just to be like, all right, let's mix it up. I'd also like you to be somebody else. For some reason, I'm wearing a James Harden mask. I'm like, that seems
You know your wife well.
fuck. Are you? I'm just always like walking by the bathroom. She's been in there for a long time. The sink is running, but I just hear House of Highlights hoops. What the fuck is going on?
That's so funny. That's so funny. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like, well, I don't know. We're pretty much open books, but we're falling apart at the seams. So maybe it's not a good thing.
I'm an open book on the show. I am the quiet guy
Yeah.
if I'm not being paid to talk.
That's great, though. It's also kind of therapeutic, right?
Yeah.
'Cause you
Like,
just say it.
I mean, we get so much shit out here that if I didn't have a podcast, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what would happen to me. I feel like I would explode.
Yeah, I actually think that me and Rosebud don't fight as much as a normal couple, especially living in quarantine, because we have a podcast and like we
Kinda
do
air it
talk
out
so
there.
much shit with each other.
So do you talk about like maybe like real shit that's upsetting you, but you're doing it in like a joking manner for a podcast, so it gets out there, but it's not as
I don't know if
serious?
there's a line. Like
Yeah.
like we talk about shit that pisses the other one off pretty much immediately, and then
Exclusively.
we burn each other for it,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of out of the way. I mean, we've had a few fights where it was just like. Just being in the same room for 3 months, you're
Yeah.
gonna eventually tell somebody to shut the fuck up.
Right.
But we've been pretty good, and also, yeah, like I can make fun of her. I mean, she's kind of my opposite in that, like, she is totally happy to like take like all the bills in the mailbox, like she'll take them all and she'll like stack them, and then she'll be like, ugh, and then put them in a drawer, forget about all of them, and then just like one day our power goes out. And meanwhile, like if my bills are not in the right order in my wallet, I'm just like sitting there tapping my desk. Like, I
Yeah.
gotta fix this.
Yeah.
So
Balance each
I'm
other
also I'm explaining autism again. But yeah, I think it's nice the podcast, like especially with. I wouldn't recommend doing it with your romantic partner.
Yeah, see,
but-
I think it's either crazy or it's like, Tom Segura and Christina P or you two, where it just seems to like work. But I feel like the vast majority of people who try that would not succeed.
Yeah, and I think also you have to be like willing to be completely honest and also not take things personally, because
I think you have to be comics though.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
some people I think have been able to pull it off. I don't know who they are. Maybe like Dax Shepard and
Kristen Bell.
Yeah, like I think maybe they had a podcast or something.
Right.
But you see so many people try to do it where like one isn't a comic, or maybe they just aren't funny people, but they
Right.
call themselves comics. And that was me throwing shade.
Someone's picking that up.
But you know what I mean? Like you can see it. It's like pained.
Yeah.
You're like, you guys are holding something back.
Right.
He hates her.
Right,
Just
right.
say it, man. Break,
Just
and
do
still
it.
post it. Yeah.
Well, when did you start the podcast with her?
First day of quarantine.
Yeah, it was like a quarantine
we did
production,
it like,
right?
Yeah. I mean, it was like the idea was like, you know,
Are you just gonna do it forever? We started to do some shit in quarantine that we were like, we got to like, I don't know, 3 months in, and we were like, all right, that's enough. Like, we can't just do this forever.
well, we were doing it every day. And then that was
Yeah,
like
that's tough.
insane. So then we went down to like weekdays, and then we went down to 3 days a week. And now we like found the happy medium of like free episode, Patreon episode.
There you go.
And it's like it gives us like a little bit of structure. It pays a little bit of our, you know, our rent/bills, and then we have fun. So yeah, I think we'll probably do it as long as we can.
Stop the relapse, you know?
Yeah, once we relapse, it's gonna be we're just gonna post a picture of fire. You know, it's gonna be like one of those alien movies where they're like, we got a dispatch from this like remote base, and it's just like somebody screaming like all is lost. That'll be the last Find Your Beach.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm honestly rooting for that day one day. It's gonna be that entertaining. All right, man. Thanks for coming in. So
Hey,
it's
thanks for having me,
find
man.
your beach.
Yeah.
Tell people where the social is and where to find them. And everything.
Just Find Your Beach on Instagram. We got a Patreon. You can just search that, and I'm Andy Haynes. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, dude.